welcome to Ifwa in. No, actually, wait a minute. Can you guess which country I'm in from my attire? Yes, you're correct. It's Ifwa in Blighty at the moment, also known as the UK. Wow, I've been back just over a week and it's freezing. Well, okay, I have been used to 32 and above degrees temperatures for the last few weeks. So coming back to Britain in the springtime, so-called springtime, where yesterday we had winds, rain, hailstones. Yeah, that really did make me pine for Ghana. Wow. So anyway, I've managed to have a few different weather conditions in one day in Britain. You gotta love it. Just in the, well, about 10 days roughly that I've been back. Oh dear, and I'm fighting a cold already. I mean, I expected it to happen anyway, but wow, as soon as you come, the extreme temperature changes and what have you. Plus, oh, I'm just still on Ghanaian time. Well, there's no time difference at present between the UK and Ghana. But when we go forward an hour in a week or so, yeah, there will be an hour's difference. But what I mean by sort of being on that Ghanaian time is basically I just keep waking up by the time I would wake up in Ghana. That's to say 4:30 in the morning. I got used to this local cockerel who kept those kind of hours. And after, 5 or 6 weeks of that, my body has adjusted. So I'm actually really tired. I keep waking up at stupid o'clock now that I'm back. It's not fun because sometimes it's like 3:30 that I wake up or three and I'm trying to get back to sleep, but my body's like, whoa, hey, you might as well be awake. So yeah, I don't know how long that will take to ease up, but I am tired. I mean, you can see even in my eyes that I'm like ready for bed already at this, when it's afternoon. So yes, I thought I would upload and not forget to do it and let life get in the way like I did last year when I returned. So yeah, just some quick reflections on my visit in late January to mid-March in Ghana. Other than the weather, which was, that time of the year, early part of the year is Ghanaian summer, I've learned. Okay, right. And when I went in August last year, that's just considered the winter. I didn't appreciate that. I was laughing when somebody said that last year. But now, having gone in the early part of the year, yes, I would agree. January, February, March, whatever, that's hot, hot, hot. On this occasion, I'll let my niece say it really. She said to me, this time you relied on me less. Last year she was looking after me. I mean, here, there, and everywhere. What do I need to do this? How do I get to there? Da, 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 da. She looked after me and all that. But on this occasion, I actually got myself around. I was getting my taxis and I even walked and found my old street and my house. Now that was a turn up for the books. I didn't think I would do it. This time I paid particular attention to the routes that taxis were taking. And I thought, right, I might just try walking a length of some of the routes. Now, I had a taxi drop me off at a coconut lady, not the one that I uploaded recently. Another lady along the La Road, whose coconuts, I don't know. Oh God, I'm going to start talking about coconuts again. Aren't I? Whose coconuts? I don't know what the water in it would fill. One coconut would fill the 750 ml water bottles I usually take with me. So that particular lady, yeah, I stopped there, bought some coconut, and I said to the taxi driver, "Leave me here. I'm good. I'm gonna stop the journey here." And once I got my coconut water, I took a turning which, um, to me, well, I was almost 99% certain that that's the road that I used to walk down as a child. I mean, this is going back 50 years and things are a bit different. Um, I just thought I'll take a chance. And so I started walking, and the road felt smaller and narrower, whereas my childhood memories were like interfering with that. I thought, oh, I remember this road was vast and everything. Some things looked a bit more run down. And I thought, if I come to the petrol station, I remember sometimes I take a different route, a longer way from school to walk home, and I'd walk past what I want to tell myself was a total petrol station. No, was it Esso? Oh, forget it. I'm free advertising for these huge companies. They don't need it. But yeah, I thought if I see the petrol station, I'll know that I'm on the correct route. I saw the petrol station in my mind, my childhood memories. It was the brand spanking new one. 50 years later, it's looking a little bit run down. Um, so I thought, well, at least it's there, even if it doesn't look its former self. So I carried on walking, and it looked built up. I've noticed, as I mentioned last year, how people are like living on top of each other and what have you. And I mentioned it to a family elder as well, who was in my company, and he said, "Yeah, that's because people, their families expand." Increase, you marry and you have children, all that, and they don't want to move away from their support network. So they just add more buildings and rooms, onto where they already live. And then you find that people are actually living on top of each other rather than moving out as their family grows. People prefer to stay where they are. So it ends up becoming overcrowded. Anyway, that's what his rationale was. But I'll see if I learned anything new. But I was grateful for that information. Yeah. So anyway, the road looked narrower, and more people, more cars, and everything. But I just kept walking, and I thought, as soon as I see the landmark that I know where my house is next to, I know I'm in the right place. And so I just kept my beady eyes open for it, trying to dodge the traffic, as because you're walking a road and everything else. And once I saw those white structures, the landmarks, I knew I was on the right route. And there I just emerged at my old house, and the people, relatives that are living in it, I just turned like, whoa, surprise, like I hadn't called, nothing. I just rocked up, and I was on foot. I didn't like get out of a taxi and everything. They just like, oh look, she just appeared, just walking. So yeah, I think they viewed me differently because of that. Like I'm just a local, just out walking, and I walked up to my old house. So yeah, I was quite proud of that. And I also found myself wandering to the local market, which I always cut across to get to school and back. Back in my day, going back 50 years, it was, nothing fancy. It was like rows and rows and rows of market stalls, and just an undercover, and that was it. The rest was open, to the elements. But on return here, it was like structures, stairs and storied buildings, which we didn't really have, and everything. Just a little bit more, involved and, complex sort of thing. And it looked bigger, if I'm honest. I remember, yeah, I think maybe the market must have expanded, even though it's in the same location. Maybe it's been extended a little bit, especially with the new tall storied buildings and stuff. Yeah, I was just wandering through that, trying to recreate, you know, my memories almost physically, but the market was nothing like I remembered at all. And I almost tempted myself to follow my nose to see if I'll find my way to my old school. But I probably would have got lost because so many more buildings have been erected. But I was really chuffed with myself that I managed to walk my old street and find myself back at home. Um, so yeah, something is beginning to shift that I felt confident enough in my visit 4 months later to just be walking the streets and finding my way home. Perhaps I am home now. Well, maybe not quite. I still need to get more au fait with the customs and mores and stuff that I've forgotten. Um, but I think I'm beginning to do that. I mean, one step forward, three back, and the odd faux pas here and there. Um, I mean, for instance, my elderly cousin said to me, "Oh, you must come to the funeral of a family elder." I thought, "Oh, okay. If I'm being invited, I'll go," because I wasn't sure of the protocol or what you do. But she said, you must come. She said, "Have you got such and such, colors?" So in Ghana, and I suspect it's an African, sort of tradition. When somebody dies, you have a particular color schemes that is designated for all mourners, attendees, and everything to wear. I actually remember when my great aunt passed when I was young. That we had a color scheme as well, and I remember mentioning it to my elderly cousin. She said, "Wow, you remember that?" I said, "Yeah." So for this particular elder's passing, it was black and white and a dash of red, I think. And I thought, "Oh my gosh," because have you got anything like that? I thought, well, I wasn't planning on attending any funerals, on the visit, but now I will remember such things. I said, "Well, I do have the color scheme was black and white, as I said, and I did have like a dress, that was two-toned. The top half was white, and then the bottom half was black, but it's more of a party dress." I was thinking, "Oh my gosh," but it was still had a formal vibe to it, and so I decided to wear that, but it was a bit short. Um, and on arrival, I thought, "Oh well, they can tell I'm that Westerner type or Bruni Ghanaian, so hopefully they'll make allowances for me, please." But a relative later said that I met while there said, "Oh yes, next time when you come, get your dress, right, that just needs to be a little bit longer and blah blah blah." So okay, she was being polite, but I thought, "Oh, make me feel self-conscious." But yeah, so that was interesting. It was a long sort of thing where I was the it wasn't the actual service. I went to the wake. The service, I think, was for closer members, and the internment and all that was for closer members of the family. But the wake type thing that I attended were there for quite a long time. I wasn't sure what the protocol was and how long to stay for. I later found out I needn't have stayed that long, but I was just following the cues from my elderly cousin who said I should attend. So because she was still there, I was there. But I was there for a good 5 hours. And I was thinking, oh, wow. Just sitting there, especially when I don't know people, but a couple of people that my elderly cousin introduced me to. It started helping me remember actually when she said, "Oh, do you remember?" She'd say the name, and I thought, I do remember the name, I do. And then suddenly, the image of a man came to my mind as she said the name. And she said, "These are his children." I said, "Oh, is he here?" No, sadly, he'd passed already. And I started looking at his these two daughters, who obviously don't know me from Jack because they weren't didn't even exist when I left. Their dad was just a young guy, would have been like late teens, early 20s. And as I looked at the elder daughter, I said, yeah, I started saying, I said, ah, yeah, I can see him now just looking at you. I can see his face. And then I described who I thought the person was. I said, how he would dress in his flares and tight shirt and afro. And the thing that did it for them when I said, and he would come to our store where I'd be working as a young child, and he'd buy like Lucy's, loose cigarettes. I said he only ever buy like one. He never bought a packet. And he'd buy one. When I said that, his two daughters just laughed. Yes, yes, that's that. And my elderly cousin's like, wow, you remember all that? You were only little. I said, yeah, I do. I don't know. So the memories and just they're coming, and my guy is getting better. My elderly cousin did say, how did she put it? I thought she was being polite, but somebody else said the same thing to me. She said, "Oh, bomadang," which means you're doing very well. You're getting better and everything. Because I mean, my vocabulary was only that of a 9-year-old, which would have deteriorated as I came to the UK, as I didn't speak Ga much after that, really, as I was learning English. But I'm addressing that anyway, having bought the Ga books to read. Yeah, I haven't looked at them for a while because my first couple of attempts, it was really difficult. But I think the more my spoken Ga improves, I think there will be a knock-on effect with the reading, I suspect. But yeah, I should really pick it up again and not be discouraged. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, this visit, yeah, as my niece said, I didn't rely on her as much. I was getting along by myself, walking the streets, finding my way home. And I think that's what I'm doing slowly with my reconnection to Ghana and Africa. I'm slowly finding my way home. I'll end here. Thank you for watching, and please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Until the next upload. Thank you for watching.